I have to finish. This is going to be the part where the battery died on me. Um, in respect to Angela Merkel, I don't want to talk about it. The thing is that Angela Merkel, um, I go kind of brain dead. Really, excuse me, when I think about what these people did. Uh, I this this obviously this is a brutality. This I absolutely cannot see myself in absolutely anything these people have done, including Angela Merkel. This is just too much for my stomach. You understand? That I was not worth even a job in the supermarket next door here in Austria. Uh, that a fact of the matter that she was mentally ill in respect to envy issues. She hated me for being a neighbor of Austria. I think that tells a lot about the character of this lady. This is a stuff that explains to me a whole lot. Um, as for everything else, obviously that it was the most convenient, and maybe because I'm a native Slovenian, to simply label me as mentally ill, as crazy, and pursue the whole thing like as if never happened. After all, I don't think the Germans would want to have a favor from somebody like myself. This is a frank uh, estimation of what I got the feeling on Angela Merkel. It's unmistakable. In 1994, when I was trying to get that little shit job, minimum pay wage, less than minimum wage job at the local supermarket over there in Villach, next to my aunt, just so that I could go and, as a mechanical engineering technician, learn German enough to get a job elsewhere in other companies. I just wanted to have as a starter. It was too much. The next offer that followed up on me was the offer of Angela Merkel for the job on assembly line in Germany for a regular worker, where I also would be meeting basically a bananas, basically money enough to pay for bananas, literally for the food. Bananas are good, that's why I eat them. Should eat them too. Um, Once I immigrated to the United States, when already on the other side of the channel, the office came for better opportunities, obviously completely unrealistic offers that only mentally unstable, unfit would choose, basically make choice about. Can you even fucking imagine? You make the fucking decision. You don't fucking go to work at age 23, pack your shit, sell your car, and invest every fucking cent in your plane ticket to go to work 20 hours a day on the ship, as it was the case, my case, on a celebrity cruise line. 7 days a week, 20 hours a day was job. This is how it was. All my feet, it was a puddle of blood that basically I walked in. You don't do this every day, so that Angela Merkel can come to you and say, "Oh yeah, no, yeah, we have a job, another opportunity opened in the Germany for you, and now you can come back." Yeah, and you know, you won't do that. I'm the man who always is down. I never go and question anybody. Wherever I immigrated, I respected the laws. I complied. I even enlisted in the military. I offered services, military services, in Belarus to Lukashenko if he would, in case he would be in need. Uh, I did so. I did so in 2017 when I immigrated to the Belarus. I was trying to be exemplary citizen to whatever the hell I immigrated. Never got myself in crime, in anything like this, drugs, whatever might be the case. No alcohol, no shit, no that. Just wanted to have a job, and so that I can develop from within. You understand? Learn the language, if it was for the language that I did not spoke, and move on to the next step and so on. It was too much. Her envy was eventually through the British, at the British request, supported by American government officials, which they commenced to exercise upon me physical violence during MK Ultra. And so it started in Miami and throughout the United States, extreme violence against me. From city to the city, they started to engage in a violence for declining to go to Germany, and foremost for declining to have absolutely anything to do further, any further, with Germany and with the British government. It was, in the eyes of the police investigators who participated in this stuff, a pathetic fact in the eyes of Slovenian government officials when they realized that Germany assembled even together, that Eastern Europe became liberated, and I was nothing other than individual, like a trash, listed for waste, basically. The British, Americans, and Germans listed me for nothing other than to be killed. Offer me absolutely nothing in return other than what they offered this Slovenian Metod Trobec before he became identified as a serial killer. Job, basically. I don't know what the fuck they anticipated. They're going to create a zoo over there in Germany, getting me rent some cheap apartment where they would have access inside of my room at night, do with me whatever the hell they want to do with me. I was not up to that. I just wanted to have life. So I don't absolutely have with Angela Merkel absolutely anything other than what I stated. There is no relationship with it between her and me of absolutely any kind. Uh, as to the Nazis smuggled from Eastern to the Western Germany, uh, British insisted for me to say maximum like three cases, six cases, three cases maximum, not even six, not three cases. It was between six and three cases. So what that tells me was it was like that was a Prince Andrew, that was Prince Charles. A subject simply exploded uh, once uh, I was like, I think, 11 years old. That was 1982. As for what it appeared to me was Angela Merkel alone who wanted to have the debate in front of me with the Russian officials in respect to the Nazis uh, transferred illegally from Eastern Germany to Western Germany. Unfortunately, I have to say that Angela Merkel have searched for excuse against me. I realized that she was hunting me down. I was drugged up. Basically, I was a hostage. It's equivalent to having knife literally under your neck. This is what it means like to be drugged up. You have no defense. You have nothing. You're in the possession of these people, and this is basically it is. Unless you take extreme measures. that takes enormous amount of force, effort to do, to exercise control, and even the stuff that I have spoken about. Clearly, I explained. As Gromyko stated, Andrei Gromyko stated, we no longer can enforce what we used to at age 11. It started. And they asked him, what do you mean by this? And he told them, for us to continue to enforce what he is doing, we do have to tie him up because he's strong, he resists physically, is unwilling to take orders, comply, and is even retaliatory. He counters back. He avenges. Angela Merkel demonstrated in my eyes very, very, very early on a strong potential of a traitor, hardcore traitor. And so it was that Angela Merkel, with the British royals in front of the Soviets, they have exercised from me a compliance. They wanted to see basically how much they can intimidate me in respect to Nazis, which surprise really was probably at age 11. I don't know. I think it was at age 11 in 1982. They couldn't intimidate me. I would go in their face and would commence to, just like they did, they would always find a way, basically, for anything that I would say, for any of my views, to punish. They always found a way to punish, and whenever they would punish for a complete nonsense, for any kind of nuisance, basically, for any kind of stupid stuff they created through harassment, through the torture, they would then justify the stuff. So wise people with really bestial promises and all kinds of stuff that went on. It was this issue about the Nazis, and I did not back down in front of the British royals, in front of her, and I requested for more. I voiced that I want Nazis, especially Nazis, that I want more Nazis to be listed to be for transfer, for the liberation. I wanted basically exactly as the case was with the Hollywood, with the Commando, with the release of the film Commando, as with the release of the Platoon, as the release of the all those action Hollywood movies and stuff like this, when they countered the Soviets or whatever in a war, whatever it was. To me personally, in my world, I yet had to figure out about the Vietnam, who the Vietnamese were, on whose side the Vietnamese were. I didn't even fucking know. I was asking them which one is, what is what? And they told me, oh, this is the north side and this is the south side. Okay, so, okay, the north side is with the Soviet, with the China. And the south side, we support and this and that. And the same thing with the Korea and so on. So that I understood basically what the fuck went on. This is how it was under care. Once I understood what went on, anything that had to do with the Soviets, including US Marines on that movie, uh, one of the first movies that was involved in MK Ultra. Full metal jackets. They had this red flag. They had a red flag. I, I developed under MK Ultra a character which did not tolerate a red flag. Basically, I was like fucking like a red flag is we're gonna go see the U.S. Marines. Oh, we go to the U.S. Marines, you know. U.S. Marines said you like U.S. Marines, and you know I see this red flag, and I was like, you know, well, this is the red flag, you know. Soviets, yeah, but no, man, we are U.S. Marines. Don't you worry, you know. They couldn't convince me that they were U.S. Marines. You know, to me, all of a sudden, it sucked the whole picture. MK Ultra is a very different. Uh, I didn't like it. I simply didn't like it. It was not according to my taste. It was a U.S. Marine flag, but I didn't like it. I didn't like it. I started to fucking hate this red flag. I was extremely uncomfortable with a red flag. I didn't want a red flag anywhere. That's how much I hated this stuff. When they said to me about this Soviets, it was done in such a about this Nazis transfer from Eastern to Western Germany. It was done in such a subtle way, like, and uh, it was like, like this, you know, you know, like this. They played with facially with eyes, approving and disapproving, like giving signs, Come on. To me, I was drugged up. Everybody was fucking laughing, watching shit. And I also knew this stuff. I knew about all that stuff. So when they said about the Nazis, uh, having them transferred, which they already mentioned earlier about these issues, the only thing I did was it wasn't for the hell of it, but it was for the hell. I asked in exactly the same way, like Vladimir Putin is using the language asymmetrical. Asymmetrical was when he was on the top with beating me up with his apparatchiks, taking full advantage of what you can do to the human being that is drugged up. That's what he's referring to, the asymmetrical. Uh, he is in his psyche seeing things through literally through MK Ultra case asymmetrical that has nothing to do with reality, I'm afraid. His asymmetrical are his memories on MK Ultra when they were doing the stuff with me, and I have no capacity, no way to return, other than in this case, my insisting on how I want more Nazis, in fact, not regular people transferred, but the Nazis. Anything that Soviets said, uh, not this or not that, absolutely anything, yes. If they said, if I realized something that it was something that bothered them, but that's exactly what I wanted. That was exactly my interest. That's exactly what I wanted. So they couldn't intimidate me with that issue. It was not 3 to 6. It was a heavy discussion about that stuff, on how they are going to be hunting down uh, then these people when this case is going to come out and this and that. It's going to be trouble. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And if you're going to say this, and it's going to be this, and it's going to be that. Listen, the real number of the Nazis smuggled from Eastern to the Western Germany, based on uh, my experience over the course of the time, because thanks to Prince Andrew, who would tell me, we have another one. British would say, we have another one. Like I said, man, come on, man. For everyone, it was an industry that entered the Soviet Union and Yugoslavia. There was no such thing as we have another one. Fuck you. The war in Ukraine, don't you fucking think that we are going to lose the war in Ukraine? Come on, man. Be fucking serious. The whole thing was a fucking play, with which obviously, evidently, I had nothing, absolutely nothing to do with it. I had as much as to do with it as with the death of my grandfather. That's how much I had to do with it. I estimated probably as many, based on what my memories would touch. I would go about, I would say, maybe 25 of them, maybe they got them across the border, which, based on my memories in respect to Angela Merkel, she had maybe over the course of the time, I can't tell. Yeah, that's what I would probably say, about maybe 3, 4, 5 of them. Fact of the matter is that I took responsibility upon my shoulders and did consider, and still do consider, myself as a politician. It does not fucking matter. I did not operate it absolutely under any flag on the earth. I operated under my own flag, and I am still operating under my own flag. What my grandfather dedicated himself and his family to during the World War II, eventually both sides of my family, was wasted, was literally trashed by the people like Josip Broz Tito, literally by the people like Shoigu you see today, literally by the people who wear those medals from the Red Army. You see them on a red square, many still standing up there and saluting those tanks, that people that marched through the Red Square and so on, in celebration of the Nazi defeat. I yet have to go now and check the local graveyards to see graves of the deceased 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years old children, 7 years old children, children like myself, if I would not be strong enough to survive what they guaranteed me, they would end up just as them, either at a graveyard or inside of some special institution dedicated to the children with mental disabilities. And this, my friends, I know for a fact, a real man like my grandfather was, they did not die, they did not fight for to have their grandchildren experimented on, butchered on, used to evaluate injections. Nobody fought for that kind of stuff. It's called ethics. And what Soviets have done, and what here the people have done in this so-called Yugoslavia and also in so-called Slovenia, is highly, super highly, not only unethical, but it's bestial. It goes beyond, far beyond the practice of a neo-Nazi Germany. In the most bestial way you want to see the Nazi Germany, Germans were not doing the stuff like this on their own children to get ahead of others. Nobody was doing the stuff like this. This is not patriotic. This is treachery. It's a treason. It's foremost a disgrace for my grandfather and also for me as his grandson. So I do not have absolutely any kind of problem authorizing and demanding for whatever it takes that I could jam, cluster, cause trouble, and eventually rock down the Soviet or Greater Serbian Chetnik Yugoslav system as fast and in an efficient way as possible. Counter one with absolutely everything, using exactly the same methods as for the Hollywood, uh, where I insisted uh, for the U.S. Marines how much they are better than soldiers of the Red Army, better weaponry, better this, better, stronger, in exactly the same way I demanded for, if you like, a Nazi customers. I had nothing to do with it. I never earned a single cent, a single grosh, a single dime out of it. You understand? But what they have done to me, what started at the age 6 months, at the age 1 year in Moscow, those things, when they started to do with me, this stuff like this as a child, basically, this is what this grew into. In Slovenia, in the school, they talked about a national resistance, resistance, resist the occupation of Italians, of Germans, and so on during the World War II. Um, they all the time talk about resistance, 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 and talk about how the people took initiative in this, an initiative in this. They sabotage this, they attack that, they destroy this, they destroy that. Uh, that's the kind of spirit I was brought uh, through. The kind of spirit I was brought up, but it was the kind of spirit that I instilled in myself. Basically, was uh, to take active participation as soon as I was grown enough to defend myself, uh, have the ability to basically die like a man if I had to, which was age 11. Uh, I took a strong stand in absolutely everything the Soviet had to say. If the Soviets said this, it was like that. If they said this, it was like that. Obviously, these people were trying to not correct me, but intimidate me, shut me off. The real figures of what went on in respect to the Nazis, I don't freaking know. They insisted me that I should count them. The British Royals did. Now, why the fuck would I go and uh, count them? I mean, you count money, right? And uh, why would I go and count the Nazis? I mean, how many I smuggled across the Eastern German, Western German border? Why would I go and do the stuff like this since, you were giving me the signs to, not know, see nothing, and this and that, pretend, act like, uh, and then all of a sudden you faced me with this kind of issue that, like Angela started to terrorize how she's going to have to step down, how she's going to have to, I don't know what the fuck she's going to have to, but this is what I have to tell anyways, and so on, and this kind of stuff, making me feel guilty in front of Chinese, in front of Indian people, black people, like that, I became, using my sister, using literally my parents, that I am the worst one, the kind that does stuff like this, so that you could cause more harm to me because nobody really else get fucked other than my grandfather and myself. You are obviously a disgrace for whatever happened, also with the United Nations after the World War II, because it's unheard of, unimaginable how much you managed to bring the world about on its knees since the end of the World War II. It is disgusting that I have to talk about issues like this today. Um, Prince Harry, his actions of the actions that you see here, this kind of stuff, for Prince Harry and this stuff here, I don't have absolutely anything to do with it. Uh, Prince Charles and Prince William intimidated me most severely on this issue. They brainwashed me with uh, Prince William and Prince Harry, right? So I'm going to repeat. I don't know if I say it properly. Prince Charles and Prince Andrew intimidated me using Prince Harry and Prince William, therefore kids of Prince Charles, for me to uh, ponder whether I am at fault, whether I did something wrong by actually even smuggling uh, German Nazis from Eastern Germany to Western Germany. How the hell can somebody that is drugged up, a baby basically, smuggle? I really didn't know how to drive the car, and I was not the one who was collecting the cases of the money and stuff like this that went on. Uh, Most of the people were regular Germans. To my knowledge, most of the people were regular Germans. To what actual number of the Nazis were that was smuggled to from Eastern Germany, I really do not know. Basically, the people that KGB would trace so they could make more money, they could get more technologically advanced, more factories, Western technology, and portray the whole thing like a smuggling and so on. Um, if that wouldn't be the case, I wouldn't have British royals flirt with me, demanding for me to pound them and do all that kind of stuff. Uh, for at least 5 years, were Prince William and Prince Harry investigating, in a parenthesis, my case, determining whether I'm guilty or I'm not guilty. On what Prince Harry decided will wear full the Nazi uniform, and that he would do in my honor. That he determined that I am a hero, that I am innocent, but that I will have to prove that he is innocent. Those are the words of Prince Harry to me prior to one wearing a Nazi uniform, that I will be the one who will have to prove that he is innocent, that he bet on me. Wow. Um, I don't. What kind of stuff the hell this shit is that I would take upon myself from some super wealthy rat like this that have all the money in the world and I didn't have a place to sleep. That I would take upon myself stuff like this for what Prince Charles also insisted. It's going to be, I don't know, the greatest story, and I don't know what the fuck is it going to be. It's completely insane. It's out of question. He was not drugged up. He was in a completely normal world, and what was afterwards used literally for the British royals to insist me that I did this, that I caused Harry to wear this, that I am guilty because of this, that it happened because of me, and I have to be butchered and I have to be destroyed until I actually prove that he is innocent. So I am going to use also this Nazi issue to charge British royals with additional hate crimes pertaining to my case. Rather than stress frustration in the camera and call for the ambulance vehicle with which British royals believe they're going to seal my fate. This is a horrific case. The issue concerning Eastern Germany transferring Nazis from Eastern Germany to the Western Germany. I cannot see myself in it. I did not have anybody in the family that would be a Nazi, that would side with the Nazis. I did. One uncle, it was one uncle, is for my grandfather, on my father's side. They were listed to go to Auschwitz, literally, Dachau, whatever it was, whatever they exiled people from Slovenia, which a lot of them perished. My grandfather carried his head on a plate every fucking day. Everything he earned as a medals, as a his decorative career, military career during the World War One, he invested for the sake, for the future, and for the sake of uh, Slovenian people, Yugoslav people. He was a very Yugoslav. He believed in Yugoslavia. For the sake of Yugoslavia, in during World War II, when he was stealing, literally stealing as a city secretary, medications necessary for the partisans to stay alive, basically the wounded people, so they could cure, save lives from the wounded people in area throughout the entire Dolenska region, basically. In absolutely no way can I relate myself to the issues like this. I am not the one. I'm not the one with a history like this. Whether it be the greatest story or the shittiest story, this is not part of my story. Uh, Tsar Peter had his white guards, collaborators with a Nazi Germany. I am sure that you know around about Russian white army, Nazi collaboration. I am sure that you know about this stuff here during the World War II about what went on. Um, just happens so that I'm from the family that did not have any links to the fascism or to the Nazism. The Soviets, when they anticipated, Ruskies, when they anticipated they're going to use this issue for attack on Ukraine, actually to use this issue to example world, my case related to the Nazism, they have kicked in the dark. As for Angela Merkel, particularly involved in this case here, I am truly, truly nobody. Uh, I would I would have the right to judge. Most of the people transferred from the Eastern Germany to the Western Germany, I believe, are regular people. She did not collect any kind of bribery. She did not collect any suitcases with the money. She did not take any money for it. Whenever she would come, um it would just do this strictly, I understand. I'm pretty sure that she really did for humanitarian reasons that she would do this, uh, Frau Kastner. That she did not do this with malintent, to hurt, or anything like this, but it was really just to help. And it's just something that, for me personally, um, when I realized that they have these coffins with the money, I didn't feel good about it because I myself was doing the stuff like this based on humanitarian grounds already as a baby. I didn't feel it was right because I didn't get paid anything. So somebody else is collecting the money and I'm not getting paid anything is not right. You already know as a baby that there is something wrong with it. Even if you're 2 years old, 1 year old baby is going to tell you there's something fucking wrong with it. If you're collecting the money, sir, and I don't get anything out of it, and we have gone through this procedure already many times, then is something wrong with it. And they proudly demonstrated me the money. They proudly demonstrated me the money. Um, this is the money I would really not want. I took joy, I took pride in seeing uh, German reunion, um, work in the Germany, life in the Germany for me personally. It sounded for me too good to be true. It's almost like a fable that would open, because they did promise me and jobs and all kinds of stuff when this is going to be over. It's going to be life for you and so on. I just wanted to be in peace in Slovenia, really. I just wanted to be in peace in Slovenia, really. I did not really have any intentions initially even immigrate anywhere. But when I saw this shit was just twisting and turning around and was about to destroy me completely here in Slovenia, in so-called independent Slovenia after 1991, then I had to take steps basically to protect my life. I'm sure you agree with that. As for Angela Merkel, I'm not going to be giving you any kind of opinion. I am from Slovenia. I'm Slovenian. Uh, I am not. I'm not going to say particular attached to the Nazism. I don't absolutely have absolutely anything to do with it. I condemn one. I do not affiliate myself with it. I don't like it. I dislike the idea which Adolf Hitler enforced throughout the Europe, and really don't have to defend myself, my credibility, in respect to any of the issues here. Not even when it comes to Angela Merkel, if she did smuggle Nazis or she did not smuggle Nazis, whether she did the right thing or she did not the right thing, um, I would never have a problem with Angela Merkel, and Angela Merkel never would have a problem with me. If I should say German government never would have a problem with me if it was not for mental illness. However, that mental illness deprived me of 51 years of life. So you must recognize my not being ill, but somebody else enforcing their mental illness upon me. I don't have anything else I would say in respect to this issue. As for my father, I'm gonna say he expressed to me on occasions his uh, what appeared like even regret that uh, if I would say got rid of the father, I would his father, therefore my grandfather. This would be injustice toward my grandfather, whom I respect. No, I'm going to say killed. He killed his own father. He murdered his own father, and he was not alone. It was my mother on board, and it was my sister on board, and they tried to murder me too. With, and it doesn't matter, or on behalf of Slovenian police, Slovenian judiciary system, Slovenian, foremost Slovenian parliament, which enforced the same, completely indifferent from whatever it started at age 6 months in so-called Yugoslavia, where Slovenia was a republic. You understand what I'm saying? To me personally, I'm going to get ready. I have to figure out how I am going to rehabilitate my father back on his feet so he will be capable to walk, use his legs again, because due to his age, he lost enormous mass amount of muscles in his body. Train one mentally for what psychiatrist Peter Kapshin police while laughing in my face, he will never be able to walk, never able to talk, and so on and stuff like this. This is my situation. That's his situation. He punished himself. They punished themselves. They don't understand even how much just yet. In the end, finally, they will realize they screwed themselves up. That's all there is to life. But maybe the people of this don't even feel that. For me personally, however, it's just important to do my job, basically. That's all there is to it. I don't have any kind of. I think to do the job basically means to take care of your mom and take care of your father, take care of your love your sister, love your brother, uh, you know, children, family, that kind of stuff. Um, I got a few very important lessons when I was a child. As I stated, even when I was beaten up, I didn't even know for sure who was doing that stuff to me. I know they were doing this stuff to me, but the real question was, why they would be doing this stuff like this? Who, in fact, was behind all this stuff? Who was doing this kind? Who was enforcing that kind of stuff? Why? What did they want to accomplish? And so on. So it's the kind of stuff that for every normal human being must remain part of his or her life, because it's also the only motto that, the only light that's going to guide you throughout the life. That I'm not going to say is going to keep you out of the trouble, but only if this is what it is. You shouldn't think about keep you out of the trouble. You should just do the right thing. And then you don't have to think about keep you out of the trouble, basically. I don't like using that expression. I heard in the US people have used that oftentimes. Yeah. This is the way it is in respect to this issue here. This is the car that was launched and since at the local Renault, and the biggest impression in Renault was not the French cars that were produced inside of the local Renault, cars that pulled a Yugoslavia back then into a totally different picture. But for me personally, when it comes to the local Renault, the biggest impression that it made were French politicians who liked me very much, and simply have seen themselves so much in me that they would, because it was always about it was always about that it was Germans that would do the stuff on my behalf to help me out and so on. Here is from 1971. That's an interesting one. I want to thank this guy because obviously that I don't know. I have to go to this website, so it doesn't really matter to me. It's very nice that some people did stuff like this, technical stuff like this. This is what I call evidence. As for that other part about this kind of stuff here that you have seen, this is disgusting. This stuff here. This is beyond disgusting. This is
first time.
First time?
Yeah, trying. Maybe.
That's good. Spice is always good. Do you like spice?
Not too much.
Not too much? Okay.
So you can start with this. What is this?
This is beef jerky. It's
oh
like
my God.
dried.
I never
tried? It's barbecue flavor, so it's a good one.
It's not bad.
It's not bad? Yeah.
It's spicy a little, maybe.
That's good. Okay.
So you can start with this one. I think you will like this.
Eat out of the pouch, portion for one. This is a bad joke. So we have, you're gonna like it. So the favorite thing to eat is a match. This is a bad joke. So we have, enjoy your meal or bon appetit.
In Slovenia, we say dober tek.
Dober tek. For the main course, we have ravioli.
Beef goulash with pasta.
Oh.
Do you like it?
It's good.
A little spicy,
A
maybe?
little spicy?
Yeah.
All right, it's bad.
This is first time.
First.
I don't like tomato.
Oh, some water here.
No Tabasco.
No Tabasco?
Fish pate.
All right. Okay.
No?
Maybe I need the biscuit.
This is the part that was used to intimidate me during NQL. They refer to me as a biscuit. And biscuit is a shit food and so on.
It is better with the biscuit.
Okay.
It needs the biscuit.
You can hear this coughing. I don't like that. It's nasty. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say I like this. Her attitude toward me, claiming me, how it's for my good, that I did bad things like this, and she's trying to make the relations with others throughout the world. I'm gonna stay with Slovenian nation. She is wearing the Slovenian uniform right there. And it's perfect because the guy is from Canada. That's where the Royal is. That's where the London Royals are. Also in Canada, they also own Canada. So it's kind of a perfect for my mission for pertaining to this video here. I was not the one who needed the proofs. I was not the one who needed to identify people. I am not the one who has anything to prove, even in respect to innocent, which basically it's totally it's difficult to describe the diabolical elements of the Slovenian character, criminal character, this murderous character that sided this murderous butcher's SS, totally in line with the SS, totally indifferent, worse than SS, worse than German Gestapo element, presence on how they gonna help me out to clean my name. What is it in my name? What the fuck did you not understand what you have done to me and also to my grandfather that you did not understand, that was not clear to you about what you have caused, the harm that you did? And you dare actually to cough over there and do this kind of stuff to you because you got the access and then you got the job and you make the money by doing stuff like this, harming people like this. What the fuck? Which part of this do you do not understand for that? For that kind of stuff, for the torture, for the physical torture and stuff like this. God help me enough to sentence you to the court and get you inside of the jail. As for this guy, he took the education for the officer. The two painted themselves on the picture in 2013 when they threw me inside of the psychiatric hospital. 2012. She, however, was not, I think, the soldier yet. She was doing some kind of school and stuff like this. That's what she claimed. All through the two already met like this in a uniform and stuff, and had exactly this kind of discussion with who gives a fuck if the food that the two eat already was used at the time by the military. Nobody gives a fuck. I'm sure that in the heads of the prime ministers, the people that work inside of the kitchen and the personnel, they had a plan already what they're going to be eating, the soldier-wise, in 2023. I'm sure that advanced they were. That's not a man. That's not an Einstein, is it? He was taking at the time, he was in the school for the officer, he was taking additional extras and educating himself and so on. He got a lot of extra weight, I see that, which they justified by saying to me that he is doing a hard stuff now, and that's basically, I don't know, university-wise or whatever it is, that he took a lot of education.
Better with the biscuit.
Okay.
It needs the biscuit. Do you ever eat it without the biscuit?
No.
No, okay.
Okay.
Butter and the jam, you know, they literally abused me on every issue throughout the video, which I'm not going to go through. But this is what MK Ultra was, and this is how they interpreted it through this kind of interactions, that they are building international relations, a friendship with other nations, um, and everything is obviously everything is wonderful, everything is great, everything is wonderful. Don't know what else I would add to this stuff. Uh, my father got really punished for this stuff, and when they realized they actually hurt themselves, uh, I think personally it's a waste of time to discuss issues like this. Let's go, and we're gonna pay the visit to the father today. This is the way it is. This is the way it went for 51 years. Thanks for watching this video. This was the part number 2. I did demonstrate you everything I wanted to demonstrate to you. Told you everything about this stuff. I have described this stuff, how the hell they want during MK Ultra, how they get you, harass you, intimidate you, rip you apart with these issues. It really didn't have to be this way. I really would prefer to be in a friendly relations with Angela Merkel. But the thing about it is that she told me already a long time ago that when I am going to come out with this stuff, that she's going to okay everything and that she will be gone and this and that and so on and so forth. What I did not like the idea about that stuff. I always wanted to be her friend. I would really feel honored to be her friend. I think she's extremely intelligent lady and so on. But to me, a character, a human character that I described a little earlier tells me that I should say, and Angela Merkel uh, will never become personal, will never become close with one another. She does have excellent communications and connections throughout the Germany, and can open you all the doors and know all these people that uh, I interacted with through her. She really was involved in absolutely everything. I would almost say wonderful lady, but I'm gonna reiterate, I'm gonna repeat. It did not have to be this way. Were the words of Ronald Reagan to, I think, to Gorbachev or whoever. Tear down, actually Bill Clinton did. Um, this wall, uh, it's now too late for the wall that you created and kept like this. So that's all there is to it. September the 29th, 2023.